Welcome back to Jim's EV Adventures. Today, we're going to take a detailed comparison of two incredible EVs, the 2023 Chevrolet Bolt EUV and the 2024 Ioniq 5. We'll break it down into four categories: interior space, tech features, driver assistance, and performance to help you decide which EV fits your life the best. Keep in mind that the 2026 Bolt EUV will likely be the same size and class as the 2023 model. You can also expect a mid-cycle upgrade to the 2026 Ioniq 5, but not much in the way of changes in overall size and performance, so the comparison video will be valid for quite some time, especially when considering the size and basic tech features. Let's move right into this review. So here we go. Let's start with the interior space. First up, the Bolt EUV. Chevrolet designed this vehicle with efficiency in mind. And in the rear, you get 39.1 inches of legroom. Now the Ioniq 5, thanks to its EV-specific platform, the interior feels much roomier. With 34.4 inches of legroom in the rear, it feels like a cavern back here. The trunk offers 16.3 cubic feet of cargo space. And that's pretty good. But fold down the rear seats and you get even more. And for everyday items like boxes and groceries, it's pretty easy to fill this thing up without any problem at all. Now the trunk area is 27.2 cubic feet. Let me give you an example. These are the same boxes that I just put in the back of the Bolt EUV. And you can see that these fit in the back of this car with much more room to spare. In fact, almost twice as much room. It's 27.2 cubic feet, and with the rear seats folded, you're looking at 56 cubic feet of cargo space. So the interior space showdown, the Ioniq 5 is the king of the hill. When it comes to shoulder room, the Bolt EUV offers 54.6 inches in the front and 52.8 inches in the rear, giving passengers a snug but comfortable ride. Hip room is also decent with about 51.4 inches in the front and 50.3 inches in the rear. Not bad for a compact SUV. For shoulder room, the Ioniq 5 has 57.7 inches in the front and 56.5 inches in the rear. Hip room is equally as impressive with 55.5 inches in the front seat and about 53.8 inches in the rear. Combined with a nearly flat floor, the Ioniq is like a lounge on wheels. Both EUVs offer plenty of legroom, but the Ioniq 5 edges out the Bolt EUV in terms of cargo capacity and overall seating comfort. It's a close call, but taller passengers are more than likely going to prefer the Ioniq 5 over the Bolt EUV. Both have a very spacious design, but the Ioniq 5 is the clear winner in this particular round. Moving on to the tech, let's review the Bolt EUV. It's equipped with a 10.2-inch infotainment screen that's simple, responsive, and easy to navigate. It comes with wireless Apple CarPlay, and that means you can use your Apple Maps without any problem. But don't expect to see Apple CarPlay or Android Auto on future versions of any General Motors car, including the new Bolt. GM has abandoned both in lieu of their own proprietary platform. This is the same approach that Tesla has adopted. If you want Apple CarPlay or Android Auto in your next Bolt EUV, you will likely need to install an aftermarket unit to achieve that goal. Over here, the Ioniq steps it up with two, not one, but two 12.3-inch displays. The infotainment system feels futuristic, with customizable layouts and a sleek interface. However, unlike the Bolt, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto require a connection. So you have to connect the system with your cable. All of this will be changing on the 2025 model in that Apple CarPlay will be wireless. For the 2023 Bolt, voice commands work well for basic tasks like starting navigation or controlling media. Let me give you an example.
Before we go on, please say address, place of interest, intersection, or contact.
Find point of interest electric charging stations.
Okay, searching for electric charging stations. I'm finding more than one match. Because it may take you a while to choose, please do so manually from the display.
And there you have it. Voice commands work fairly well on this particular infotainment system.
Please say the POI name or address you want to find.
Charging stations.
Please say the line number of the location you want to go to.
Brings up all the charging stations you want right here on the display. And the same one that we chose in the Bolt, the EV
Would
Connect.
you like guidance to this location?
Takes you there with no problem at all. For those of you who live in a colder climate, you can go into your battery conditioning mode and set this for maintaining driving and fast charging performance by optimizing the battery temperature in cold winter temperatures. In this mode, setting a fast charging station as the destination consumes more battery energy and may shorten your driving range, but it ensures you will get a fast charge when you get to that station. Here in Florida, I don't need to set this, as the battery is going to maintain about 70 to 80 degrees most of the time while we're driving anyway. Let's talk driver assistance. The Bolt EUV offers General Motors Super Cruise, a hands-free driving system that works well on mapped highways. It's a game changer for long road trips like the one I just did to North Carolina. With features like lane centering and adaptive cruise control, it's a breeze to take a long trip. However, it's important to note that Super Cruise is a subscription-based service, so you'll need to factor that into your cost after the subscription expires, and mine expires at the end of 3 years. The Hyundai Ioniq 5, on the other hand, comes with highway driving assistance, which also offers lane centering and adaptive cruise control. Smart cruise control conditions must be met, but with this system on, it will keep you lane centered going down the road. While not hands-free like Super Cruise, it provides a reliable and smooth driving experience. Plus, it's included as part of the basic package. No subscription required. Both systems will give you an enhanced driving experience, but Super Cruise hands-free capability sets it apart if you're willing to pay for it. Now let's talk performance. We'll start out with the Bolt EUV. The Bolt EUV comes with a single motor, 200 horsepower, and 266 foot-pounds of torque. It's front-wheel drive only, and it'll do 0 to 60 in about 7 seconds flat. Perfectly adequate for city and highway driving. The Ioniq 5 SEL rear-wheel drive has 225 horsepower and approximately 258 foot-pound of torque. The 0 to 60 time on this vehicle is about 7.4 seconds, a little bit slower than the Bolt, but at the end of a quarter mile, much faster. Step up to the all-wheel drive version of the Ioniq 5, and you're looking at 320 horsepower and 446 foot-pound of torque. It shaves the 0 to 60 time to an impressive 5.1 seconds. So whether you prioritize performance or efficiency, both the Bolt EUV and the Ioniq 5 give you plenty of power for daily driving. The Bolt EUV shines as a practical commuter, while the Ioniq 5 is a little bit bigger and is preferable for longer road trips because of its fast charging. So which EV wins? The Bolt EUV might win because it's a perfect match for practicality and simplicity. If you want cutting edge and high tech and spaciousness, then the Ioniq 5 is your choice. It all comes down to what you need in a car. Let me know in the comments below which one you prefer. Either way, both EVs prove that electric driving is our future. You cannot go wrong with either choice. That's it for today's comparison. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you'll never miss an episode of Jim's EV Adventures. I'll see you all real soon, or somewhere along the route from point A to point B. Take it easy.